Hello, I'm Natasha. Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk about the rise of the AfD in Germany. In June 2024, the AfD won 16% of the vote in the European parliamentary elections, second only to the CDU. Recently, a non-binding motion calling for tougher border and asylum rules passed with support from the AFD. There are 14 chapters in their manifesto, and obviously I'm not going to critique all of these, but I thought I would look in further detail at some of the chapters that I find interesting. And these relate to immigration, energy, and the current war in Ukraine. Section 9 of their manifesto relates to immigration and states that there needs to be a shift in asylum immigration. Crucially, it is the AfD's view that true refugees should be granted shelter as long as there is war in the countries of origin. Irregular migrants who are not persecuted have no right to claim protection, contrary to refugees. Once the reasons for fleeing, such as an end to wars or political and religious persecution, no longer applies, shall residence permits of refugees be terminated. These refugees need to leave Germany. Strict controls are to be established at German border checkpoints at which irregular immigration occurs in order to prevent illegal border crossings. All refused asylum seekers not legally entitled to protection will have to be forced to leave Germany immediately if they do not do so voluntarily. And I agree with all of this, and we have the same issue in Britain too. In the UK, we are facing massive problems with both legal and illegal migration, and we need a complete overhaul of the system. I think that genuine refugees should be returned to their original country once their reason for fleeing no longer applies. Section 9.4 of their manifesto relates to integration. Integration is more than just learning the German language. The concept of a multicultural society has failed. In order to live in peace with immigrants in the future, integration is indispensable. Successful integration requires that immigrants of all ages acquire a sufficient command of oral and written German, respect and endorse our legal and social systems, and earn their own living after a reasonable period of time. I mean, this is just common sense, really. If I went to any other country in the world, I would need to integrate in the country I move to and respect its culture, tradition, and learn the language. I'm not sure why this is even up for debate. In order not to create divides, it is essential that people who come to the country contribute rather than take from the country. Section 9.6 relates to no disguising and hiding of immigrant crime, which once again seems obvious, but sadly in England the authorities are covering up immigrant crime, and I cannot say too much on this because people are getting put in jail for discussing this. Section 7 focuses on German as the predominant culture and not multiculturalism, and the Judeo-Christian foundations of German culture. Why as a country would you not want to prioritise your own culture and values? Would I go to a country like Saudi Arabia and try and enforce my culture and values on them? The answer is no. So I don't understand why people think it is acceptable to undermine European culture and values. The only section I do not agree with relates to NATO membership, where it states the support for membership of NATO as a defensive alliance. I think that NATO should be disbanded on the basis that it is an aggressive military alliance. With regards to energy, the leaders of AFD have advocated a return to nuclear energy and more coal power stations, as well as relaunching the Nord Stream pipelines. And this makes sense for Germany. They are literally deindustrializing due to not importing cheap gas from Russia. And nuclear energy looks like a good way forward for both Germany and the UK, as well as importing cheap gas from Russia in the meantime. I know that Elon Musk has recently backed the AfD, but actually the US is benefiting from the situation that Germany is in, as the US is selling more LNG to Europe. Plus, Germany's deindustrialization is a benefit to the US, who can possibly pick up its share of the market in the manufacturing sector. Currently, 26.6% of Germany's GDP is driven by manufacturing. The automotive, mechanical engineering, chemical, and electrical industry are the largest manufacturing sectors in Germany. It is time for Germany to put itself first and make decisions that benefit its own country and not the US. The AfD also want to end the war with Russia, and I think that this is a great thing. I wish in the UK that we had more people calling for an end to this war. Even the Reform Party don't seem to be outspoken enough on this issue. In the UK, we've had a 100-year recent partnership signed between the UK and Ukraine, whereby the UK is committed to giving £3 billion a year up to 2031 and for however long it takes, even though pensioners are freezing to death. That is how much the UK establishment loves war. Once again, it will be interesting to see how this goes down with the US, as they are benefiting from record sales of weapons as a result of this conflict. Overall, the policies of AfD seem extremely sensible to me, but as we all know, common sense is not actually that common in the West anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments below.